Hey there, bibliophiles and those raising bibliophiles. Thank you for joining me today for an honest book review from a fellow mom seeking great books for children to read. Today's book review is actually a wonderful nonfiction read, The Enigma Girls by Candace Fleming. If you have a child who loves World War II and really interested in nonfiction reads, then I definitely want to recommend The Enigma Girls. The Enigma Girls by Candace Fleming is really a compelling true story about 10 young women who were sworn to secrecy to help save their country during World War II. Fleming is a great storyteller. She really brings the story to life with photographs throughout that help really engage the reader and allow them to really experience what they experienced in the story and really makes it all come to life. At the end of some of the sections, she also has like top secret information that has tips for different types of ciphers and code breaking and technology that was used at the time. And so those little sections and chapters could be really fun and engaging for readers who want to participate in some code breaking activities. The Enigma, if you are not familiar with it, was a type of machine used by the Germans during World War II that helped them encrypt and decrypt important informations and communication between their armies. And so Fleming gives sort of the images and details of each of these machines and what they looked like and how difficult it was to crack them. In response, the British invented what was known as a bomb or Bombay and a Colossus, which was a computer that helped the workers attempt to break these sophisticated codes of the Germans. There's a lot of details in this book, and there's way too much for me to cover in such a brief sort of review. I am going to highlight the 10 women that are the focus of the novel. And so the story continually builds, adding a new young lady and still going back and forth throughout the story with added details and interactions. A lot of these women never met each other, which is pretty cool. The story begins with Patricia, and she's actually not in the same place as a lot of the other women who were at Bletchley Park. Her efforts were to listen on a wireless radio for Morse code. And so then that information that she took was sent to Bletchley Park. Jane was part of high society in London, so she's the second lady. And she was sort of set to be presented to society, but her mind was really focused on the war. And much to her parents' chagrin, she leaves at 18 and joins the military, and she ends up working on the Enigma at Bletchley Park. Mavis is the third character or lady that's brought up in the book, and she quit school to join the effort. And she also actually spoke German. So she worked a lot with some other people trying to break some of the ciphers. Sarah is person number 4, young lady number 4. She's also 18 when she joins the war effort, and she also has the ability to speak German. She was assigned to indexing, which required a lot of cross-referencing with intelligence that was received. Diana was actually 17 at the time that she was sent, and she worked on the bombing machines, and she really considered them like monsters, and she didn't really enjoy working on them, but she, served her country. Anne was 21 when she started her war work, and she was a talented mathematician. And so her work was to sort of create these menus that the Bombays needed. Joanna was 18, and she worked with the Colossus computer, and she absolutely loved working on those machines. Charlotte worked as an indexer for most of the war effort, but after D-Day, she was moved to paraphrasing and translating Japanese messages. Marion also worked on the process of paraphrasing and translating Japanese messages. And then Gwen worked in one of the huts and her time, and she retrieved the cipher books and then would use those to break coded messages. So there are a few mentions of romance, as 2 of the women do get married during this time, but there isn't anything inappropriate in the discussion or the details in this aspect of their lives. If you have a reader, like I said, who loves World War II, loves puzzles and coded messages, I think this book would definitely be a hit with them. It's a quick read. It may look kind of long and thick, but you have a lot of images and pictures and those kinds of things in there. And I think it was really cool that she put this together to really highlight the effort that some of the women participated in. And they took their, oath to secrecy very seriously. And it hasn't been until a lot later when things were finally being released that nobody knew about these secret lives that these 10 extraordinary women and other like them had.